Good evening, folks, and welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. You know the drill. We're retired New York City police detectives and 9/11 World Trade Center first responders. If you like all things true crime related from the police detective's perspective, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll get all things DutyRon. And right here, this guy, my partner, Ed Wallace, when we go live or upload another video. Tonight, I just couldn't believe my ears when I saw this news today, this interview with the police commissioner of the Boston Police Department, Police Commissioner Michael Cox. He stated that he had no knowledge of who Kelly Dver is and or the conversation in regards to Karen Reed. Ed, I got to go right to you for your thoughts on this. His own uniformed member of the service was found dead on the lawn of 34 Fairview Drive, and Karen Reed stood accused of the murder of said police officer, his own, one of his own, and he doesn't know who she is or what the case was about.
And 34 Fairview Drive, it just so happened to be a sergeant from his police department. Are you kidding me? I'm throwing the bullshit flag on the field right now. If this was hockey, I'd be putting him in the penalty box or ejecting him from the game, whatever. That is total bullshit. Okay, total bullshit. You're the freaking commissioner of 3,000-man police department. Okay, 3,000-person police department. She didn't invite herself to your office. You called her in, and then you tried to pretend like, oh, maybe she was having a momentary crisis of some kind of psychological crisis, or she was high or she was low, and so you called her into your office to aid her. Well, that's what your medical division is for. That's what psych services is for. Okay. And since when does, the officer get the legal counsel for the department, the head of the legal counsel for the department to go with her to interview with the FBI?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's insanity at its best. And when we talked about this during the trial, we said that no 2-year wonder rookie gets called into the police commissioner's office for no reason. And it smelled bad. It seemed bad. It didn't seem right. And now you have this guy. Somebody put multiple news reporters from the local area, puts phones and microphones in front of his face. And he had no idea he was going to get asked about this because he had called this meeting or this, whatever he was doing. I don't even know, but it had nothing.
He was out of state.
Right. It had nothing to do with Karen Reed. He never in a million years thought he was going to get questioned on this because his own spokesperson that was there with him from the police commissioner's office, the blonde woman standing right to his right and our left as we look at this, she tried to cut it off and say, okay, that's enough. That's it. But let's listen to this with the closed caption on. Let's go to the chat before we play this. How many of you guys in the chat have seen this? Put a 1 in the chat if you listened to it today. Put a 2 if you didn't hear it. This is Police Commissioner Michael Cox, the Boston Police Commish, and he was asked about Kelly Dver, and he totally stepped on his you know what. Totally. I see a lot of number 2s in the chat. That means a lot of people didn't hear this. But these questions were peppered at him at a fast rate. And he rolls his eyes. He makes faces. Ed, I know you're good at looking at this body language and so forth. He was making this like this was a joke. And this was like, oh, this case is over. We're on to bigger and better things.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I'd like to see all communications between Morrissey's office and his office. I'd like to see emails, text messages, phone records. There was communication. There's no way he, as the Boston Police Commissioner, did not get notified by Morrissey's office because the feds sent over to Morrissey's office her interview and her statement that she gave to those FBI agents. There's no way he didn't know about it. Okay. And she didn't ask for a meeting with the police commissioner. He called her into his office.
Yeah. No PO, no cop just barges into a police commissioner's office for no reason. And we're going to play right after we play this, we're going to play Kelly Dver's testimony under direct from Alan Jackson. She spills the tea and he here today, he's got some explaining to do, because this isn't the end of it. He either is lying or he is
he's got a false memory.
He's got false memory, which we heard. That's, thank you for taking the words out. Or he has the same false memory that police officer Kelly, I don't even like to call her police officer. I like to call her Kelly Dver. That Kelly Dver, he's got that same false memory where he forgets things.
It's contagious.
Yeah, it's despicable. Total false memory, total bullshit. I'm throwing the
oh, hell no. Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
He gained it. We're going to talk about it. Let's listen.
Your name came up during the recent Karen Reed trial. You got a visit from Officer Kelly Dver. The defense implied that you influenced your testimony. Do you want to respond to that?
I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this person was associated with the Karen Reed case. I have an organization full of over 3,000 people, and we support all our folks. And the reality is that, I get information passed on, whether people are high or low, and I encourage everyone, right? And if you want to work here and you belong here, then we're going to encourage you. I have no idea what they're talking about with Karen Reed. It had nothing to do with Karen Reed. No discussion about it.
Did you tell Officer Dver to do the right thing?
I didn't know she was even associated with that case.
Bullshit.
I don't know.
He answered that he did not even know that she's associated with the case.
Then why was she in your office? And why did she testify that her whole career depends upon what she says on that stand? And you told her to do the right thing.
It's just a whole bunch of hogwash.
Oh my God. It was stupid to take the meeting, to have the meeting in the first place. And this is just making it worse.
Agreed.
I get information passed on, whether people are high or low, and I encourage everyone, right? And if you want to work here and you belong here, then we're going to encourage you. I have no idea what they're talking about with Karen Reed.
So hold on there, Ron. Hold on.
I'm going to encourage you to have memory lapse.
So I get information about whether my people are high or low, and I encourage them. So you're saying that she has some kind of depression and you don't know why she's depressed. So you're calling her to your office to pep her up.
Yeah.
And you have no reason why you suspect that she's low. Bullshit. You were notified by Morrissey's office about her interview with the FBI. You knew what she said, and they were putting pressure on you to correct this.
And this is the same police commissioner who 3 months ago, a lawsuit was put against him by a fellow Boston police officer, sergeant. He was demoted by this guy for refusing to be taken off of the police ethics board. And because he refused that order, he demoted him. And this police officer, we're going to play that in a few minutes, is suing the department and suing Michael Cox for First Amendment rights violations.
Hey.
Go ahead, Ed.
No, hey, FBI, hey, DOJ, did you see this? Did you see this?
Yeah.
You better be on this. Call him to your office and interview him under 1001 and see what he has to say about this, because what he said here is bullshit. It's not the truth.
Discussion
Did
about
you tell Officer Dver to do the right thing?
I didn't know she was even associated with that case. So, I don't know. I was struck, like, what do I have to do with the Karen Reed race? I never have said those words together. And so the fact is, it's much to do about nothing. We have employees here.
Did you hear that? It's much to do about nothing. You have a police officer John O'Keefe, who was murdered, and we don't even have the person who committed this crime or persons. So this is much to do about nothing. That's a slap in the face to the.
You got a Boston cop under your supervision murdered, found on the lawn of another off-duty Boston cop.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't know about this, and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's horseshit. Kristen W says, so is Dver lying? It's either Dver's lying or he's lying or they're both lying. We know Dver is lying. She was lying about the testimony and the statements that she gave to the FBI. And all of a sudden she had memory amnesia. or that she wasn't thinking clearly. And now that she's gotten more, I think she said now that she had more information, yeah, she was swayed to shut her mouth and to change her story. And she did it. And she did it forthwith. And Alan Jackson asked her about, the thin blue line and things of that nature. And she just sidestepped it. Let's let the rest of this play, and then we'll go right to Kelly Dver. I know it's Dver, but I like to call her Dver.
Develop and encourage and do things, and I do that for tons of our employees. I don't know. I was struck like, what do I have to do with the Canton retrace? I never have said those words together. And so the fact is, it's much to do about nothing. We have employees here that we have to develop and encourage and do things, and I do that for tons of our employees.
Do you feel that you were inappropriately drawn into this?
Thank you.
That case is over.
There's the lady I was talking about. I don't know who the hell she is, but she's like, thank you.
Must be like chief of staff or public information officer or something.
I mean, I alluded to that, but I don't know what her official title is, but it's probably one of those. And she's right by his side, and she's like, thank you. That's enough. No more questions. But he continues on.
Thank you.
That case is over, and we've got a lot of other stuff to talk about. I have nothing to do with Canton. I was in the state of Michigan.
I have nothing to do with that.
What did he say? I'm in the state of Michigan?
I was in the state of Michigan. So, look, I have the dates written down. I believe it was August 9th of 2023 is when she was allegedly called into his office. Is he alluding to that at that time he was in the state of Michigan? I don't know.
Michigan.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Talk about. I have nothing to do with Canton. I was in the state of Michigan.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Unbelievable, Ed. Unbelievable. Let's go to the chat. What do you guys think of this? This is an outrage. This is continued nonsense that we're seeing here. These are lies upon lies from the top all the way down to the bottom. Kelly Dver is a bottom feeder. She's a cop. I don't even want to call her a cop. She's a PO, but she's a bottom feeder. She's the low man on the totem pole. So it goes from PO straight to the commissioner's office, and right from the commissioner's mouth. Horrific. It's another black eye for the Boston Police Department, because we are talking about police officer John O'Keefe, a dead Boston cop, and they are making up. Look at this guy's face. Look at that face. Are you kidding me? This is despicable. What a tangled web we weave, right?
And first we practice to deceive. Exactly.
Yeah. Let's go to Kelly Dver's statement. I'm going to start it at the 4-minute mark. Just give me 2 seconds to cue it up.
Given factual information that makes it so I know I did not. No.
So the answer is no.
Correct.
Do you remember being interviewed on August 9th, 2023?
I do.
That was by a separate law enforcement agency, correct?
Okay, so then that wasn't the police commissioner. That was when she was interviewed by the FBI. So my bad on that.
No, she wasn't seen by the police commissioner until after that interview.
Right. I just wrote down August 9th, 2023. These are my prior notes. So again, I stand corrected. But she definitely went into the police commissioner's office, and she talks about it at the 4-minute mark. So that's what I'll skip forward to. She looks like she's going to cry here.
Did you indicate that you noted I may have just a moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
Along with Mr. Unetti and Ms. Little on a conference call last year sometime. You remember that?
Yes.
Between the time that you were interviewed on August 9th, 2023, and when we spoke sometime in maybe it was April or so of last year, does that sound about right?
Yes.
Did you have any conversation with any other party about your potential involvement in this case?
No,
Did you have a conversation with anybody in the commissioner's office at Boston Police Department?
not about anything malicious.
I didn't use the word malicious. Why do you say malicious?
I had a conversation, but it was my department saying, regardless of what I need to say on the stand, they support me.
You were asked to go to the commissioner's office.
Did anybody notice her looking up to try to find the right words to say? She was clearly making this story up. She looked for her words. She didn't. These words are not coming out of her mouth. Like,
She was prepped what to say, and she's trying to recall what it is to answer to this question.
yeah. You just take a look at her again. She's looking up. Her eyes are looking up like she's trying to fish for the right thing to say.
Department saying, regardless of what I need to say.
I didn't use the word malicious. Why do you say malicious?
I had a conversation, but it was my department saying, regardless of what I need to say on the stand, they support me.
So that would be the commissioner, right?
Go to the commissioner's office, correct?
Yes,
How long had you been on the Boston Police Department at the time that you were invited to go up to the Commissioner Michael Cox's office?
it had to have been before the first trial. So, and I know it was when the agency released information to outside people.
That's not my question.
Okay, so I don't recall.
Okay. You don't recall how long you had been on the force, generally, at the time that you were called up to the commissioner's office, on the Boston Police Department?
No,
Was it 5 years, 2 years, 2 months? Give me a ballpark.
so I've been on the department for 2 years and 2 months. I would say somewhere in the range of a year.
Okay. Did you find it unusual for would you call yourself a rookie back then?
Yes,
Did you find it unusual that a rookie police officer would be called up to the commissioner's office personally to discuss a matter?
it was a reflection of how good of a leader he is. It was not anything that I found unusual.
It's a reflection of how good of a leader he is, and he's denying that less than a month and a half later after you testified. He denied he even knows who you are.
This is the gang that couldn't shoot straight, man. They can't keep their story straight. I mean, when does the corruption stop? Holy shit.
This is beyond belief. Like this, just when I think it's gotten the worst that it can get, it gets worse.
Would be called up to the commissioner's office personally to discuss a matter?
It was a reflection of how good of a leader he is. It was not anything that I found unusual, given the fact he is someone who wanted to show support for his officer.
So I'm guessing all of your training class or all of your entry classes at Boston PD, they've all gone up to the commissioner's office as well?
I don't know anyone else who's been in this particular circumstance.
Do you know anybody else who's been called up to the commissioner's office at your level at the Boston Police Department?
No.
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you know of any of your colleagues with your level of experience that have been called up to the commissioner's office for a specific instance?
Objection.
That's sustained.
Now, when you went up to the commissioner's office, did you respond to his indication that he wanted to see you up in his office?
It wasn't a direct line of contact from him.
Okay. Did you respond? Did you ultimately go?
So what she was saying there, folks, for those of you who don't really know how this works, somebody from the police commissioner's office, whether it was a captain or a lieutenant or a deputy commissioner or somebody of a high rank, reached out to her command and said, send police officer Dver down to the police commissioner's office. So that's what she's referring to here, is that she didn't get direct communication from Police Commissioner Cox to her directly. It came to her command, and her command ordered her to go down to the police commissioner's office down at headquarters.
Yeah, it's like a paramilitary organization. It's a chain of command. They go through subordinates to the officer involved, and then her commander tells her, you've been ordered down to the commissioner's office on such and such a date at such and such a time.
Exactly. And for those of you putting stuff in the chat like, oh, Proctor got his job back, he didn't get his job back. I don't know where you're hearing that from. I highly, highly doubt Michael Proctor is going to get his job back. So whoever you're hearing that from, I haven't seen anything bona fide and vetted that he got his job back. I highly, highly doubt it. Ed, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, he didn't get his job back yet. I don't think he's going to get it at all. He had a hearing. There was a hearing about it the other day, and but there's no way. I don't
process. It's part of the due process. He's going through it, and it's going to be denied. There's no way that they could put that scumbag back on the job and have him operate effectively. And the same thing goes for Buchanik. Sergeant Buchanik got reassigned to I think the training academy or whatever. They took him out of that elite cushy homicide bureau of the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. There's a cushy little spot. He didn't deserve to be there. He's not a sergeant. In my opinion, he should be suspended, and the same way Michael Proctor was, and fired. In my opinion,
I agree. And what they did to him is a slap in the wrist. Okay, they sent him off to the training location to do administrative work for the commander of the training division, which is all bullshit. And it's not just this. I mean, he just recently testified in the Walsh case.
I saw it.
Okay, so I mean, it just gets uglier and uglier with these people.
And that scumbag Buchanik shouldn't be anywhere near training, because from what he's demonstrated of his failure to supervise, he shouldn't be anywhere near anything, even if it's administrative as it pertains to training. That guy should be in a rubber room with his guns removed and his shield removed and his ID removed.
And a dictionary.
And just put him in the rubber room and let him just sit there. All right, let's listen to the rest of this because it's only a couple more minutes. For those of you who are repulsed by Kelly Dver, we have to listen to this because it is the breaking story of the day. This testimony, compared and matched to Police Commissioner Michael Cox's statement today, is damning. It is damning for the Massachusetts State Police. It's damning for, it's damning for the Boston Police Department. It's damning for all police agencies across the United States, because this is another black eye moment. This is a stake on the eye moment for the BPD.
That's what I mean by respond. Did you go to his office?
He's my boss, so yes.
Okay. And who else was in that?
There she's saying directly, did you go to Alan Jackson? Did you go to his office? Yeah, he's my boss. Oh, yeah, I went there. Well, biatch. Today he said, you were never there. He doesn't know who you are. He doesn't know anything about Karen Reed.
He didn't know your involvement in the Karen Reed trial.
Yeah.
Me and him.
Office. To his office.
It wasn't a direct line of contact from him.
Okay. Did you respond? Did you ultimately go? That's what I mean by respond. Did you go to his office?
He's my boss, so yes.
Okay. And who else was in that office?
Me and him. The two of us.
General counsel of the Boston Police Department?
No, it's just me and him.
During the conversation that we had last year, did you say that general legal counsel for the Boston Police Department was also there?
Objection.
Not during that conversation.
Objection.
Next question.
Sure.
Bev, lifeguard Bev to the rescue. Ed, did you think that we'd ever be talking about this again? Lifeguard Bev, she's to the rescue. Ask the next question. This is embarrassing enough. Please.
I tell you what, though, if you've been following the Turtle Boy trial and hearing and so forth, the judge there is night and day with Judge Bev.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now you get to see someone a little more professional, a little more, there's no evidence. I didn't pick up any evidence of bias.
Yeah. Look at this. Deanna Bellina says, I strongly think the commissioner is lying and not Dver's. I love to call
I think they're both lying.
I think they're both lying, but let us know what you think. That's a great question. It's a great statement. What do you think in the chat? Put a 1 if you think the commissioner is lying and not Dver. Put a 2 in the chat if you think they're both lying.
The commissioner's lying because he did say these things to her, and she's lying because he told her to do the right thing.
How could the commissioner be so?
She tells you her job, her career is all dependent on this testimony.
How could the commissioner be so stupid and dumb? How could his people be so incompetent? This is total incompetence.
No, it's absolute power, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. He didn't think he could be touched.
No. They watched this trial. You can't tell me that the police commissioner did not see the statements of this girl that came to his office.
He was in Michigan.
That's bullshit.
It's all bullshit. We know it's bullshit, but that's because they've been empowered to think they're untouchable.
Yeah. All right, let's let the rest of this run.
Was there another time that you went to the commissioner's office where general legal counsel was there?
No.
Have you ever met general legal counsel from the Boston Police Department?
Yes.
Was it in the commissioner's office?
No.
When was it?
During my conversation with the agents.
You took a lawyer with you to talk to this other law enforcement agency?
I'm going to see your sidebar on this.
The sidebar was because she mentioned agents. That was the cardinal sin, the cursey words. Remember throughout the whole trial, they couldn't say the FBI. Well, day 25 when she testified, the FBI came out. The ugly FBI, the three-letter word, the three-letter word came out, and Bev was pissed. That's what she called that sidebar.
Ms. Dver, when we left off, I was asking you about the meeting at the commissioner's office, and I want to clear this up. Was general legal counsel in that office or not when you had a meeting with the commissioner, Michael Cox?
No, it was just me and the commissioner.
At some point, did the commissioner say to you that Boston Police Department, insofar as your connection to this case is concerned, Boston Police Department fully supports you?
Yes.
Did he also say, do the right thing?
That's a direct quote, so I can't recollect if he said a direct quote 2 years ago.
A year ago, when you talked to us, the defense, did you tell the defense that when you were called up to the commissioner's office, he told you two things? Commissioner Cox told you, number one, the Boston Police Department supports you, and Officer Dver, do the right thing.
So he said my name correctly. He said Dver, and
That's my mistake. Let's see. You want me to repeat the question? So
Mr. Jackson, let's
Dver.
answer, please.
yes, and he said nothing with the intent of guiding me one way or the
I asked you
other.
what his intent was, madam. I asked you what he said to you. What were his words to you?
I don't recall.
That he supports me.
And
Just wanted me to tell the truth up here.
his words were, do the right thing, correct?
I don't recall.
She's been trained to say that.
Oh yeah.
How many other times have you testified in a court of law during the course of your job?
Two dozen, 3 dozen.
And
Actually testified probably ballpark a dozen times.
in any of those other cases, as Commissioner Michael Cox,
I doubt she testified a dozen times.
In less than 2 years, maybe? No, hardly.
She's full of shit.
Yeah.
Some people in the chat are saying that she's on leave. She could be on administrative leave. She could be out for stress because of this. I don't know. I don't know any of this stuff because honestly, I would never care to really look into her because I'm just repulsed by her. I think that she's a tarnished a badge. She's all of these people who participated in getting on the stand and committing perjury. And some people ask, DutyRon Ed will she be charged with perjury? Look, we're looking at this thing through a clear lens. And at the end of the day, the Commissioner Cox, He's making a statement, and I'm going to play this back to back again over. And I hate to do this
during the recent Karen Reed trial. You got a visit.
This is the police commissioner today, and we'll listen to him at regular speed straight through.
Your name came up during the recent Karen Reed trial. You got a visit from Officer Kelly Dver. The defense implied that you influenced your testimony. Do you want to respond to that?
I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this person was associated with the Karen Reed case.
So he's referring to police officer Dver as a person. This person. He's not saying this officer. This reporter just asked police officer Kelly Dver. I promised that I wasn't going to do it, but I'm doing it, and I'm going to let it play. He called and referred to her as this person. What police commissioner does that? What police commissioner refers to one of their officers as this person?
Your name came up during the recent Karen Reed trial. You got a visit from Officer Kelly Dver. The defense implied that you influenced your testimony. Do you want to respond to that?
I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this person was associated with the Karen Reed case.
Ron, hold on. You know what he reminds me of?
What?
I did not have sexual relationship with that girl, Monica Lewinsky.
Good God. God help us.
Is he going to say it depends on what your definition of is?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Such fackery. Yeah. I mean, this is the icing on the cake as it pertains to the Boston Police Department. My God.
Fill over 3,000 people, and we support all our folks. And the reality is that, I get information passed on whether people are high or low, and I encourage everyone, right? And if you're going to work here and you belong here, then we're going to encourage you. I have no idea what they're talking about.
If they're high, go ahead.
If they're high or low, but what is he going to do? Encourage them to lie under oath?
Well, if they're high, shouldn't he send them for a drug test?
I'm thinking maybe he was referring to them as being high or low.
Yeah, I know.
Get information from people who are high and low. Maybe I don't know.
They don't have a psych services in their medical division?
They definitely do. It's the BPD. They have psych services. They have all different kinds of employee relations. They got an HR department. They got it all. This guy's full of shit, and he really stepped on his dick today.
High or low, woo! I encourage everyone, right? And if you're going to work here and you belong here, then we're going to encourage you. I have no idea what they're talking about with Karen Reed. It had nothing to do with Karen Reed. No discussion about
Did you tell Officer Dver to do the right thing?
I didn't know she was even associated with that case. So,
listen, if Officer Dver took leave, I would think the local newspapers, the Boston Press and everything would be all over that. And, you know, so everything we know, we're hearing is internet rumors. So we have no idea of the validity of those that are saying these things, whether it's true or not. If it was true, I would think the media would be jumping all over. It's like Burgess. We heard Burgess was fired.
Right. And that's for good reason. He should be fired. The guy was, he provided false information about his credentials. He should be fired. This is a elected official. He's put in this position by the mayor, right? So this guy is now up here saying, I don't even know she was associated with the case. So
yeah, bullshit. Then why'd you call it to your office? And, you know, we can subpoena those records from your office to see how many officers you've called to your office to speak to give them a pep talk from the time Karen Reed incident occurred, John O'Keefe Karen Reed incident occurred to post trial, second trial. And I bet you it was maybe one or two. Yeah.
All right, let's let it roll through.
To do the right thing.
I didn't know she was even associated with that case. So, you know, I don't know. I was struck like, what do I have to do with the Karen Reed race? I never have said those words together. And so the fact is, you know, it's much to do about nothing. we have employees here that we have to develop and encourage and do things, and I do that for tons of our employees.
Do you feel that you were inappropriately drawn into this as some sort of boogeyman?
That case is over, and
Sort of a boogeyman? I didn't catch that because I was concentrating on the woman trying to shut the thing down. This reporter said, "Do you feel like you were sort of like the boogeyman here?"
that case is over, and
Appropriately drawn into this as some sort of boogeyman?
that case is over, and we've got a lot of other stuff to talk about. I have nothing to do with Canton. I was in the state of Michigan. So.
This guy is a fucking disgrace. Let's move on about Yuriy Buchanik. Sergeant Buchanik reassigned to sort of like the police academy version, right? At training and whatever. Would you consider that again, we said it, a slap on the wrist? This is not something that, in my opinion, he should, like we said, he should be suspended, failure to supervise, suspended, and the same process that Michael Proctor went through. He should be fired. This guy should not be a Massachusetts State Police sergeant investigating anything. He shouldn't be investigating diddly squat. And in my opinion, this is a slap on the wrist, major league.
Oh, 100%, 100%. This isn't just this isn't another injustice that's being perpetrated on the people of the Commonwealth. Based on his performance and his testimony in the second trial, as well as the first trial, his failure to supervise, the things that he said, the things that they did, the violation of protocols and procedures, all of this under his supervision. Plus, after the fact, giving a stellar evaluation to Proctor.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And when directly asked by the prosecution and the defense if he felt that Michael Proctor conducted this investigation with dignity and respect and honor
And integrity.
he said yes.
Those are words he has to look up in the definition in the dictionary because he doesn't know them.
Let's listen to this.
He testified for 3 days during Karen Reed's second murder trial, and now the Massachusetts State Police Sergeant who supervised the Reed investigation has been reassigned.
Yeah, it's a name that you've probably heard about a number of times. If you follow this case, we're talking about Sergeant Yuriy Buchanik, who until just yesterday had been working for the Norfolk County State Police Detective Unit, now under the direction of District Attorney Michael Morrissey. Now, for more on this development, let's turn to NBC Boston's Michael Rosenfield. He's joining us right now. Michael, do we know yet where the sergeant's been moved to?
Colton, he'll be working right here at State Police Headquarters in Framingham doing administrative duties. It's the latest fallout in the Karen Reed investigation.
I hope administrative duties entails him filing papers in the filing room, because he shouldn't be dealing with anything that has to do with training or anything where it pertains to procedure, because he doesn't know how to properly do anything.
Well, he doesn't know how to properly do reports or file the reports either from the case investigation he was just involved in. So I wouldn't want him doing that. He's just going to be riding the desk.
Yeah.
And, it also depends on how far away he lives in comparison to this new assignment. The state police used to have a way of disciplining their troopers here in New York.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sending them far away.
Yeah, sending them far away, and they called it highway therapy.
Yeah. And some of the guys, I've heard terms in the NYPD when you're working in Queens or in some of the Brooklyn precincts, getting assigned to the Brighton Beach boardwalk in the winter is also another.
Yeah, or if you're in Staten Island, you've been shipped to the Bronx.
There you go. Yeah, double trouble.
Sergeant Yuriy Buchanik, one of the top investigators in the high-profile Karen Reed case, suddenly reassigned. He's being moved out of his job at the Norfolk District Attorney's Office, considered a plum assignment.
It's difficult to get into these units, especially as a supervisor. These are very coveted positions. You can spend the rest of your career there. You develop a certain level of expertise, which also makes you marketable for a second career once you retire.
State police say Buchanik has
not a buffoon like this. Is never going to be marketable. The only place he'd be marketable is McDonald's, and that would probably be something that he doesn't deserve to work at, flipping hamburgers.
See,
this guy's a joke.
A lot of our district attorney's office here in New York, they hire their own investigators, and most of those people are retired NYPD detectives.
Right.
And you know, they start a second career in law enforcement with the prosecutor's office as an investigator.
Yeah, I know someone close to you that did that.
Yeah, me too.
This is a retired Massachusetts state trooper, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows the ins and outs of the Massachusetts State Police because he spent a great deal of time there.
A second career once you retire.
State police say Buchanik has now been temporarily reassigned to the Division of Standards and Training at headquarters in Framingham, where he'll perform a variety of administrative functions in support of daily operations.
It is not a demotion because he's allowed to retain his rank. However, the change of assignment is absolutely a disciplinary action on behalf of the department against Sergeant Buchanik.
But because he's on TV on Boston 10, he can't say it's a bullshit disciplinary. That is less than a slap on the wrist. That is a reassignment. It's an inconvenience. It's an embarrassment for him personally, but he's still getting that full paycheck. He's not probably making the overtime that he was making over there at the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, but it is definitely less than a slap on the wrist.
You know, during his testimony in the trial about Chloe, he had a problem saying rehomed or they got rid of the dog, right? He had a problem. Well,
okay.
They got rid of him. Okay, he's been rehomed.
Yeah, absolutely.
The investigation was conducted with honor and integrity.
Buchanik was the supervisor of Trooper Michael Proctor at the Norfolk DA's office. Proctor was fired after improper text messages he sent about Karen Reed were revealed. Buchanik was initially disciplined with a loss of vacation time, was criticized for not holding
5 days. 5 days of vacation is what he lost.
Proctor accountable for his behavior. State police have not said why Buchanik has now been reassigned.
A supervisor is there to maintain order. You nip it in the bud. Enough with this banter, enough with going back and forth. And if warranted, you call that trooper in, you sit him down, and there's a series of disciplinary actions.
But he failed to do any of that. Buchanik failed to you take any disciplinary role with it as it pertains to not just Trooper Michael Proctor, all of them that were involved in that text string, because they all conducted themselves in similar fashions. I think that whole swamp of squad members, I think they said there was 4 detectives, they should clean house. They should get rid of them all of them. And that's my opinion, and that's what I'm sticking to.
The current boss of the MSP came from the New Jersey State Police. Now, there's a big difference between NJSP and MSP. MSP has unions. NJSP does not have a union. Okay, NJSP is more military based, where MSP is more civil service based.
Right.
NJSP. After you do like a 4-year stint, you renew your commission, or you re-up in the police department. They have no civil service tests for sergeant, lieutenant, captain, or above. Those, it's just like the military. You go before review panels and your evaluations and everything, and get promoted. So I believe he may be finding the things a little more difficult to do in the Commonwealth than he would have more power in New Jersey to discipline these troopers.
Yeah. Yeah, it could perhaps be the situation. Janelle Woodward, I know what you're saying, but what I was saying is because he's on TV, he can't really speak his mind completely. There's certain things that he can't say, like it was bullshit that he got reassigned and sent to a different location, because he still retains his rank and so forth. But what I was saying is that he could have said more, but because he's on TV, they edit everything out, and they cut your interview from a half hour to 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever this piece is, 4 minutes. and he's only on it for maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
So this is a temporary reassignment through October 4th. What his eventual permanent role will be is still unknown. Live in Framingham, Michael Rosenfield, NBC 10 Boston.
Michael.
All right, so that's that. Let's move on to the next order at hand, and then we'll get ready to wrap up. We'll take some questions from the audience. In addition to that, Hanky Boy Brennan, we found out through news reporting
prosecutor appointed to
that prosecutor Hank Brennan earned a total of $566,000, $500,000+ at $250 an hour. He was paid and billed the Commonwealth for 2,264 hours. Ed, what's your thoughts on that? And chat, let us know how outraged you are about Hank Brennan being paid over $500,000. Mr. Wallace.
First of all, you got to ask yourself, why did they need a special prosecutor? And the answer is because all the other assistant district attorneys in Morrissey's office didn't want anything to do with this case. Okay? They knew it was a shit case. They knew what was going on, and they didn't want their name smeared with this case. Okay? So they brought in a hired gun, former defense attorney for Whitey Bulger, and they paid him all this money to get a big W. He didn't get a W, he got the L.
The big loser.
Mm-hmm.
Let's listen to this and let's be further outraged. Let us know what you think in the chat, how outraged you are about the Commonwealth paying in the second trial, in the retrial of Karen Reed, $566,000 to Hank Brennan.
Tonight at 6, 5 Investigates has just obtained records that show just how much the special prosecutor appointed to prosecute Karen Reed was paid.
Our Jessica Brown is here with the details just coming in. Jessica.
Yeah, that's right. Those records give us the clearest picture yet of how much this retrial cost taxpayers. That special prosecutor was Hank Brennan. The Norfolk DA appointed him to prosecute Reed during her second trial. Reed, remember, was charged with second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence, and leaving the scene after the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Her first trial ended in a mistrial. The prosecutor in that case was from the Norfolk DA's office. In the second trial, Brennan also failed to secure a conviction on the most serious charges. Last month, a jury found Reed guilty of operating under the influence. The invoices obtained by 5 Investigates through the state's public records law shows that Brennan was paid a total of $566,000. That's from the time he was hired in September through the jury's verdict last month. Now, he was paid at $250 per hour. Brennan worked more than 2,200 hours.
What the F did he do for 2,264 hours? Ed, how outrageous is that?
You know, I guess that's the top pay that he could get. It's like 18B here in New York, you know, the defense lawyers, the court, if you have to provide an attorney for the court, you're capped at what that attorney can get paid.
Right.
And experts like myself, if you're working for the defense like that, the court system here caps what we can get paid an hour as well.
Right.
But, you know, it's just disgusting. Like, you know, okay, so you have to, you know, he's an elected official, Morrissey, and he should be held accountable for why he had to go outside of his office to hire Brennan. And, you know, they don't even get me going with Brennan because I think he is an unethical piece of you-know-what, and that he committed all manners of prosecutorial misconduct throughout this trial, okay, lying to the judge in several instances, being caught, okay, and he's never going to be reprimanded for what he did. He's, you know, because Judge Bev isn't going to do anything about it, and Morrissey isn't going to do anything about it, and the defense team can't do anything about it.
Agreed.
Okay, but you know, he should be disbarred. He should have his license revoked. This guy is a total piece of shit. Okay, you know, and then to come out after the jury verdict and basically come out with that bullshit statement of the jury got it wrong, okay, and blaming the jury and trying to say, well, he reviewed everything, and from what he saw, there was only one suspect here. Yeah, well, I don't know what you were looking at, because the science don't lie, the medical findings don't lie, okay? John O'Keefe was not hit by a car, and he was not hit by Karen's car.
Period.
Okay.
Period.
End of story.
Yeah.
You know the truth. He knows the truth of who did what.
Exactly. Some people in the chat, Ed, and I love the chat, and I want to thank the replay viewers, the moderators, super chatters, the gifters of memberships. Amy gifted out 20 memberships. Thank you so much for doing that. It's much appreciated. And then Pilot's Wife also gifted 20 memberships. Wow, it's contagious. Thank you, Amy. Pilot's Wife, thank you. Michelle, thank you for your super chat. Talking about Proctor and DeCecco, graduated in the same Massachusetts State Police Academy class, 81st Recruit Training Troop, 2014. MSP YouTube videos made their training seem like more like boot camp, military style. Is that normal for cops? State police, yes. The New York State Police, possibly the Massachusetts State Police, they run it a little different. You go to like a barracks and you stay, I don't know, New York State troopers stay for 6 months away from their families. I think they can return home on the weekends perhaps, but yeah, you stay away. You're sleeping in a barracks. So they make it a little bit different.
Same with the New Jersey State Police. It's like a boot camp.
So it's the same probably across many states. So Hank Brennan paid over $500,000, billed $250 an hour for 2,264 hours of a case that would have never even been tried here in New York. It's a guarantee, Ed, you said it many times.
Yep. And let's not forget Aperture. Then you got to tack on their numbers, right? And some of the other witnesses, the experts that they brought in, okay, because they had to pay for those experts. So this is over $1 million for an OUI conviction. Most expensive OUI conviction in the Commonwealth, I imagine.
It's disgraceful. It's despicable. And look, Karen Reed could be you, could be me, could be any one of us. This is the length that the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office went to. This is the length they went to try to convict somebody of a crime that they didn't commit. And we heard it 16 hours in from Trooper, disgraced, former retired, disgraced scumbag Trooper Michael Proctor said, we're going to pin it on the girl. The homeowner isn't going to get shit, isn't going to be charged with shit.
He's a Boston cop too.
Yeah. So it was clear and evident 16 hours into an investigation of the murder of a Boston police officer, John O'Keefe, who was going to catch the shit. And it was this girl right here, Karen Reed. And thank God she was able to afford a team that she had and assembled the team that she had the second time around. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened. The team that she had, we had Alessi and Yannetti on with us, and Alan Jackson and Miss Little and many others behind the scene. They worked tirelessly to free Karen Reed, essentially. So that's what we're looking at.
Don't forget, if she pleads, it'll be over. If she doesn't, it's going to be an episode.
An episode. That's according to
the McAlberts.
Yes, Jennifer McCabe. So listen, I promised you I was going to play the Boston police officer. It's only a short little clip that is suing the BPD over Commissioner Cox, asking him to step down. I wanted to play that because it is relevant, because this happened just 3 months ago. It's a short little clip and it goes really fast. Let me slow it down. Hold on.
While you're looking for that, with the Brian Walsh case, the MSP played fast and loose with the Constitution. Okay, and so that all that evidence is in jeopardy.
Yeah, that's for sure. I saw that. What was that, like a week or so ago, maybe a little bit longer, when they were covering that on the news, and that's disgraceful because we have a woman who was butchered and chopped up by her husband at the time Brian Walsh, Anna Walsh, and you got these buffoons involved in this case, Trooper Michael Proctor, Sergeant Buchanik, and the whole crew. These guys, it's just a disgrace. I want to just thank just Larry for being in the audience and many others. Thank you for being here. So this is the trooper that sued the Boston Police Department he was demoted from sergeant back down to cop.
And this just in, Eddie Crispin, a former member of the Boston Police Command staff, is suing Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox, claiming the commissioner violated his First Amendment rights. Cox demoted Crispin after he refused to step down from a state commission on police reform. No response yet from Commissioner Cox.
That was 3 months ago. So this police officer, he was a sergeant, got demoted back down from sergeant to police officer because he refused to step down from his position on police ethics. Disgraceful.
Was he put there by the commissioner or another commissioner of Boston PD?
I don't have enough of it, but the fact of the matter is he was in that position, and Michael Cox, the police commissioner, currently asked him to step down, and because of his refusal to step down, he was demoted. And that in itself is despicable. It just shows, I'm playing this to show the character of this police commissioner. He's a piece of shit, and I don't even have to look so far into his background to know this. And this is from 3 months ago.
Just in, Eddie Crispin, a former member of the Boston Police Command staff, is suing Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox, claiming the commissioner violated his First Amendment rights. Cox demoted Crispin after he refused to step down from a state commission on police reform. No response yet from.
So there you have it. Despicable. It shows the character of this police commissioner. He referred to Kelly Dver as a person. Like he didn't even say
that person. That person.
Disgraceful. Let's go to the chat. Hashtag Ed, hashtag DutyRon, and on your questions pertaining to Police Officer Kelly Dver and her possible lie. I believe she lied under oath. And will we
at the request of Cox?
Right. Will we see her brought up on charges? I doubt it, because who would have to bring her up on those charges? Think about it.
The feds.
The feds have a lot of fish to fry here, and I don't
She's
think
low-hanging fruit. They can grab her to get to Cox. They can grab her to get to any number of people.
I hope they do.
And then the whole house of cards will tumble.
I hope they do. Let's see any questions in the chat. Hashtag Ed, hashtag DutyRon. We'd love to answer them. I want to go over to the super chats. Ed, just keep your eye on the chat if there's anything there. S. Rains, thank you for becoming a member. Ida, thank you for the 2. She says thank you. No, thank you. Oh, I didn't catch this. Kathy gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Kathy Hurley. Hurley, thank you. Ida, thank you so much for the 2 again. Miss Beaver, Kelly Beaver. Desi, thank you for the 2. He smiles like he knows he's untouchable. Rest in peace, Police Officer John O'Keefe. She was referring to Commissioner Cox. There's Jeff, our good friend. Jeff, I'm sorry I missed your call before. Hi, Ron. Hi, Ed. Hi, family. Hi, everybody. Schmitty's wanting to get an autographed bag boys. And please do the bag boys boogie. I know it's gonna happen. It's I didn't believe it, but he's got the prop. Right. There you have it. Bag boys made its appearance. I missed that. How many of you in the chat missed that? Thank you so much for the 5. She says watching this post verdict is so satisfying. Yeah, isn't it, Sandra? Isn't it? Under your scars, remember for 5 months, Proctor fired Yuriy. Wait, Proctor fired Yuriy, reassigned Dver on medical leave. I don't know if that's true. If Deborah's on medical leave, maybe she is. Enough people have been saying it, but I don't have any confirmation of that. Ed, you see something in the chat?
Yeah, just Larry. You're right. I've been so pissed about the forensics in this case, the lack of forensics, then the hired forensic whores that were testifying for the prosecution, and the mockery. The whole forensic community is a buzz about all of this. You could follow us on LinkedIn. You could see us in the chats for the forensic associations that I belong to. Everybody is so pissed off about what transpired here. Okay. And yet I know for a fact there are still people in CPD that don't think they did the wrong thing with the leaf blower and the solo cups.
He's got it all.
They don't believe they did the wrong thing. They don't understand the nuances of forensics and how a leaf blower can blow away trace transfer evidence, or how to process a crime scene in the snow. They just haven't been trained to the proper standards.
And Ed, hearing Lieutenant Gallagher, Lieutenant Leaf Blower say that when asked how he thought that leaf blower worked, and he said it worked fantastic.
Or magnificently, right? Wasn't it something like that? Magnificently.
Yeah, did I hear you say there was forensic whores in this case?
You're damn right they were.
You used the whore word.
Yeah. He got paid to do a service, and
it's exciting when you use those words. I'm going to have to do this to you, Ed. Pull it over.
Step away from the blue paint.
All right. So a lot of questions were in the chat, and the chat's going by like really quick. But let me go back to the chat and scroll back. Mel Stiller, our good friend, always great to see you. Thank you for being here. Ed and DutyRon, it's truly refreshing to listen to the two law enforcement professionals who aren't afraid to call crap by its real name. Ed, you always say it. We call the balls and strikes, and this was clear and evident. If you are on the team of justice for the victims and their families, you can't get on the bandwagon here and say, "Oh, this was a great case. They put this thing together perfectly."
Well, listen, I'm a man of science, okay? And whether I'm working for the prosecution or the defense, the science is going to be the same.
Right.
Science doesn't take sides. It's either right or it's wrong. We see in this case what the right science is, and that was performed by, it wasn't performed by Aperture, all right? It was performed by the crash daddies and the data daddies, okay? And so you could see it's night and day, the difference between a professional forensic crash reconstruction and a non-professional. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And what people will do for money. Okay. Listen, all we have in life is really, honestly, what it comes down to is our reputations. Okay. Right. And if you lose that, you're done. Especially in forensics. Right? Like, over in Boston, they have a list of cops that cannot testify.
Correct.
They can't be trusted to testify in court anymore. Right?
Yeah.
So, so you're
washed up.
If you make that list, you need to be fired.
Yeah, correct. Gosh darn it. I'm sorry that I missed so many of those comments. I tried to scroll all the way back. If you have something that's pressing that you want us to answer, put it again, #Ed, #Ron. This time I'm really looking at the chat. For those of you who are putting in the chat that it's confirmed that Dver is out on medical leave, she could be. She could have hurt herself on the job. She could, it could be a whole bunch of different things. But I know now Ed's looking down at his phone. That means he's searching for it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I know Ed so well now. Like, we only met in 2021, but I wish I'd known Ed my whole career, my police career, because I would be in a better place if I had known Ed early on, because
you'd have more hair on your head.
I'd have more hair on my head, but I definitely have a lot more knowledge, because I feel like I know more now, retired, than I did when I was on the job. So thank you, Ed. Kristen says, you're both on the justice team. Thank you, DutyRon and Ed, for all that you have done and all that you have taught us. You rock. Well, you guys are great too. We appreciate it. Christina says, #Ed, #Ron. The McCabe's mother's maiden name is Dver. I read it on her dad's obituary.
If you look at her testimony, when she was asked about who she knows involved in this case, okay, she only spoke about the people that testified. She didn't speak about all the other people that didn't testify that are in the Alberts and McCabe's. She didn't talk about those connections maybe she had through school or growing up in Canton and all those other people.
Correctamundo. Yeah, she didn't. Jeff, thank you for being a member for over 26 months. I never inhaled. Let me just get to these. Amp BB2, thank you for the 10. In my opinion, she's a petulant biatch. Wonder if Dver realizes she's been used. Cox, if you don't know anything about Dver in the Karen Reed trial, you need to be rehomed ASAP. Yeah, I mean, that's bullshit in itself for him to say, I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about Karen Reed. He was watching that trial, and he knew that Officer Dver testified and said that she went up to his office. So I already highlighted that one. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you, James, for the $10 super sticker. Kimberly Gutierrez, member for 6 months. Taxpayers should ask for a refund. It's ridiculous. Yeah, as it pertains to Hank Brennan, yes. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. That is very generous of you. We appreciate you. We love it. We thank you, and we are grateful. Stephanie, thank you for the 5. His statement is the equivalent of, I'm a Boston cop. I'm not a Canton cop. Yeah. Unbelievable, right? That never gets old, that's for sure. Thank you, Pilot's Wife, for the 20 gifted memberships. Michelle, thank you for the 10. Proctor, okay, we got to that one. Thank you. Holy smokes, coming back. Amp BB2, member for 34 months. Thankfully, Hank lost. Rumors are he wanted to run for DA. Oh my God, that's frightening.
I don't think it's that Hank lost. I think it was the defense won.
Yeah, he didn't have a case. He had no business trying that case. And for him to say that he looked through it and said he had enough to get a conviction is just beyond. No. I don't know what he was looking at.
He was looking at dollar signs in his bank account. That's what he was looking at.
Lazy Elf sends him 5 and says, I wonder how many times the commish met with John O'Keefe. He's never met with John O'Keefe. That's for sure. This commissioner, the only time he meets with people is to reprimand them and not to call them in their office to give them a pep talk and say, hey, go and do the right thing. Look at what he did to this man. He demoted him, took him off, asked him to step down from a position that he had, and he demoted this guy, and the guy is suing him. What do you think his intentions were with any other of his command staff or his police officers? He really seems like a piece of work, that's for sure.
What was the cause? What was the cause the commissioner used to ask him to step down? And is that a lawful order? Is that what he's trying to say, that it was a lawful order that the commissioner could give to him to tell him to step down from that committee?
I'd have to look at the lawsuit, that's for sure. Brenda, thank you for becoming a new member. Sal, 80, thank you for becoming a new member. Dver should tell the feds on all of them, and Yuriy will have a 45-minute commute. Right now, he's got a 45-minute commute, or Yuriy will have a 45-minute commute.
Is that one way?
Yeah, straight to the federal penitentiary. David, thank you for the 5. New to your channel, appreciate a different perspective than the attorneys I follow. Well, we appreciate you.
Yeah, we follow attorneys too.
The attorneys that covered us do a great job from the attorney's perspective. We come from a different area, from different area of expertise.
And trust us, because we took a lot of shit from other law enforcement, about our stance in this case. Okay.
And we're no longer friends with some of them because of their opinions on what our opinion is. And, look, we always respect both sides of this thing. No, we've never gone after anybody as it pertains to what their thoughts were, and we just stick to what we think is the right thing. And when
you're entitled to your own opinion, you're just not entitled to your own facts.
Thank you for the 5. It makes me uncomfortable when people say defendants are guilty before their trial, even if it seems obvious. Yeah, you're innocent until proven guilty in the United States. That's for sure. And BB2, thank you for the 10. Have you heard about another Boston law enforcement officer, 30 plus years, allegedly sexually assaulted a 14-year-old over the weekend, bail lowered and got out. That's disgusting.
Yeah, and that it was a 14-year-old boy, and this can't be the first time this guy has done this. Okay, this is sick. You know, if it was up to my wife, she would have taken a dull knife, and you can let your imagination run wild.
Chopped his wanker off. I'll say it, Ed. I'll say it. She would have committed it on Elena Bobbitt, right? Is that her name? Elena Bobbitt?
Yeah, pulled in Elena. Well, she bit it. I don't think my wife would do it.
Yeah, I thought she cut it off. But anyways, and BB2, thank you for that. Cat loves cat skills. Thank you for the two. Love both of you, honorable law enforcement officers, retired. Thank you. We love you right back. Amy, thank you for being a member for 2 months. It seems like you've been a member longer than that. She said, I've learned tons from you two on this case. Thank you, with a heart. Well, we thank you for all of your questions, comments, concerns, super chats, gifted memberships, and buy me cups of coffee and all the great things that you guys do. Clara D, thank you for the two. Boston WBZ News has it listed that Dver is on leave. I'm saying Dver just to be an annoyance to her. I don't want to say Dver. So Dver is on leave according to Boston WBZ. Okay, Yarnbarf, thank you for being a member for 35 months. Stephanie, thank you for the 5. Also, this person comes off as a guy who never came in the house, and there's a man dead on the lawn. They know it's a script. Yeah. And I want to send prayers to Miss Alma Trumbley. She's going to be going and having some major surgery soon. Ed, stop texting. Stop.
I'm not texting. I'm checking the Yangtze.
Hang Sang. Yeah.
No, the river. It's overflowing.
While Ed does that, I'll take him off so it doesn't look bad. I want to say prayers, please, in the chat for Alma Trumbley. She's going through some testing, and she's going to be having some heavy duty surgery, personal stuff. I'm not going to get into it, but heavy duty surgery in the next coming weeks. And she asked me to send a message to everybody for prayers for her. So please, everyone, prayer warriors, pray for her to have a successful surgery. Ed, are you done with the Hang Sang?
Yes.
Okay, good. What did you come up with?
According to my research here, no, it's been classified as not true.
There you go. That's why I don't report on it. But thank you, chat, for talking about it. We don't know until we bonify it. You know, look, even Kristen was saying, oh, it's true. It's true. I see it in the chat, but I don't talk about it because until we get official confirmation from a legit source, and sometimes news is not legit source. I hate to say that, but it's true. We want to get it and we want to get it right. So God bless everyone who's putting it in there. And I know it comes from a good place, but we like to always vet. And look, Ed's not even stopping.
No, I'm going to do one more search.
Ed's a machine. All right. So listen, on behalf of Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace, I want to thank you for being here tonight for an hour and 13 minutes. We appreciate you. We didn't plan this. What time was that, Ed, when you said let's do it? 8 o'clock?
It's like 8 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, Ed was like, we got to go live. Our community wants to hear this. Let's pool our community. How many of you here in this chat and on the replay watching this wanted to hear about this? Put a 1 in the chat if you wanted to. Put a 2 if you're sick of this. How could you be sick of this? This is like the gift that never stops giving. These law enforcement executives and police commissioners are buffoons. So put a 1 in the chat if you wanted to hear it. Put a 2 if you had enough of it. I don't see any 2s yet. I see a 3, but I don't see a 2. So yeah, we thank you. Ed cannot stop because he's a machine.
I don't want to leave without knowing the truth.
He's a cyborg. Ed is a cyborg.
You can't handle the truth.
All right. Listen, on behalf of Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace, I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for hitting the subscribe button and giving us a thumbs up. It's free to do that. It's free to subscribe. It's free to thumb it up. Thank you for doing that. Ed, we always appreciate all of our support, the members outside of YouTube. There's the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. There's Patreon. There's so many of you guys there. Join our Discord group. Join our Facebook groups. We're all over the place. It's all linked in the description. I hope to see you guys all on the next one. Ed, your final thoughts before we get out of here.
Hey, thanks for sharing your time with us. I know your time is valuable, and you can get your true crime fix anywhere you like on the internet, as we all know. But thanks for being here, and thanks for spreading the word about Ron and myself and our channel. Thanks for being a part of our true crime family. And I always, folks, stay safe, stay prepared, and watch your six.
Amen to that, Ed, and much love and respect from Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. And hey, I wanted to also tell you the reason it's been quiet in my studio and you don't hear Popeye going, he had suffered 2 strokes. My African gray parrot of 38 years. Several weeks ago, we were covering Suzanne Morphew and a follow-up on a Karen Reed story on a Friday night, and he fell off his perch and landed on his back. And then he had a second stroke a couple of days later. So I've been giving him medication and stuff like that. Look, he just can't help himself.
I found it.
So,
she is currently on family medical leave, and I know the folks in the chat has said this. And it's listed from the WBZ TV.
Okay, yeah, that's what they said in the chat.
The AI information I got, no bueno.
All right, so Ed's backing it up and saying you guys are right. So but anyways, so that's why Popeye, his cage is empty. I have him in a hospital cage. He's in a separate quiet room, and I have to give him medication, 3 different medicines by syringe, 2 times a day, morning and night. And he's making progress, but he lost use of his right side, his leg and his wing. He can't perch, he can't climb. And I was going to put him down. It was a really tough time. Ed could tell you I was practically crying to Ed on the phone. I've had Popeye, the African gray parrot, before my kids were born. I got him when I was 23 years old, and I'm 61. So the bird's been with me for a long time. And some of you have been asking why I haven't been hearing him whistling in the background. This studio is not the same without him. And again, he's getting better, but he's never going to be the way he was. They have a life expectancy of 75 years, but it was shocking to me. I was getting ready to go live with Ed, and I said, Ed, I got an emergency here. He fell, and he recovered, and then 3 days later, he fell again, and I wound up taking him to all kinds of emergency places and testing, and $3,000 later, we found out he had a stroke 2 times. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for loving and caring for all of our pets and all of our family members and all of our community. I will see you guys on the next one. Love and respect from Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. Good night.